What is up YouTube, it's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, and today we're going to be looking at an Angel Feather deck profile for V Premium. This is going to be for the Nociel archetype. So this archetype got support out of the, Divine Lightning Radiance. Also, a couple promo cards have come out recently, not included in this deck, but I'll definitely give you the options where you can kind of replace them and put them in. So I think this is like a really great deck just for anybody who's kind of getting into the format. Maybe, you know, you tried out Overdress, decided you like Vanguard, want to look back at some of the other formats out there as well. I think this is just like a great entry point into it. Plays like an Excel deck, not exactly like a Protect deck, but still kind of has those nice Protect kind of gimmicks to it. So overall, I really like this deck. I think that it is a great option, like I said, for any kind of beginner, even if you're experienced, just a fun deck overall. So without further ado, let's hop right into like the mechanics and I'll just go over the deck list. Alright, hopping right into it, I just wanted to quickly mention before that I'm super thankful for all you guys. We're at over 500 subs now, really cannot believe it. Big milestone for this channel. I really appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the content, I ask that maybe you do hit that subscribe button, possibly leave a like on this video if you enjoyed any of it. But without further ado, let's hop right in. So the overall idea of this deck is to spam out these grade 0 Nociels, which is kind of like a weird concept. You don't really run grade 0s in any like V Premium deck. In some premium decks you do, but this kind of nets us a benefit in two different ways. First off, for every one of these that you have face up in your damage zone, you get an additional 5k to your front row. So if you stack 4 of them, that's an additional 20k, which is a big number to deal with. On top of that, the more of these Nociels you have in your damage zone, you could potentially net you 6 attacks per turn. So again, kind of doing that like Cell playstyle in a Protect deck, which is like absolutely insane. So I know I mentioned that during my best V budget decks or just best value decks in general video. So I think, yeah, it's finally time to release this profile. All right, let's hop right into the deck profile and I'll show you how to get those 6 attacks. So starting right off, I feel like we have to start with this one and not the triple rare one. This is going to be Love Sniper Nociel. So its skill, act on Vanguard circle once per turn. We counterblast 1 and put the top card of our deck into our damage zone, and then you return a card from your damage zone to your hand. Now, if you're at 5 damage and you do this, I think once you hit that 6 damage, like the whole skill has to resolve. You're not just gonna 6 damage yourself out and lose the game, so don't worry about that. And this is good to get our key pieces that might be in the drop zone or damage zone, I'm sorry, and could help us net more Nociels into our damage zone in general. So really nice for the filtering there. On top of that, its second skill is enabling us that multi-attack. This is going to be auto on Vanguard circle at the end of battle that it attacked. We get to cost Soul Blast 1, discard 2 cards from our hand, and then we get to ride a Nociel from our hand onto Vanguard circle, and it gets -1 drive. You can only use this once per turn, so you can't use like multiple of these cards and really spam into like, you know, 3-4 Vanguard attacks. So unfortunate that we can't do that, but definitely would be way too broken. So the main target that you want to kind of go into then is our next guy. This is Holy Seraph Nociel. So this guy is skill. This is the triple rare out of Divine Lightning Radiance, also very popular in the Hamiel, oh god, what is her name? Gabriel build. This is Holy Seraph Nociel. So its skill, auto on Vanna rearguard circle, 1 place. We get to Soul Blast 1. Search our deck for up to 1 card with Nociel in its card name. Put it into our damage zone and then shuffle our deck. If you put a card into your damage zone at the end of turn, we get to heal a card out. So and put that back to the bottom of our deck. Doesn't have to be that Nociel card, it could be any card you want. So you're kind of putting something in there, hopefully getting another Nociel to grade 0 or possibly another card just to hit the threshold for the next skill, which is auto on Vanguard circle. When it attacks, we Soul Blast 1. If you have 3 or more face-up cards with Nociel in its card name in your damage zone, we get to stand one of our rear guards, and if you have 5 or more with the Nociel in its name, we get to stand both of those. So this is really just impactful overall. Like, you're getting 6 attacks now, 1 on Vanguard, 2 rear guards, call her down, and then boom, on Vanguard circle, restand both of these. There's a lot of Soul Blast required in this deck. That's like the big hang up. You have to know when you're gonna kind of like, you know, have your final push turn in a way, and just make sure you have the right resources. There are cards that help us kind of mitigate a lot of that, but at the same time too, like, you know, just be cognizant of your resources in this deck. So again, restanding, you know, 2 potentially 20k boosted attacks on top of other skills that the cards inherently your rear guards might have, just really good. And you are spamming another Protect marker because you are riding, so if you go Protect 2, that could potentially be another 10k on top of that. Just really nice overall. Or just, you know, put them into your hand, get some of those discard Protect markers for the original Nociel skill with the discard 2. So yeah, that is pretty much the combo there. Let's go into the pieces that kind of make it work in general. Also, the first skill obviously is just super nice to yeah, just spam more Nociel into your damage zone. But moving on, we're looking at our first grade 2. This is going to be Love Machine Gun Nociel. There's skill, Van or Rearguard Circle when placed from hand. We get to Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Search your deck for up to 1 card with Nociel, and then put it into our damage zone. Shuffle our deck. If I put a card into my damage zone, we get to return a face-down card from our damage zone to our hand. So this ability may only be used with the card the same name once per turn. So you're essentially going to choose a non-Nociel card for the Counterblast for this, return it back to our hand, which is good because all the other cards in this deck should either help us push or get resources back in order to get more Nociels into our damage zone. That's kind of the name of the game here. An awesome card because it works on Van or Rear, so not a bad target if we're going to ride it on our second grade 2 turn. Soul Blast it out, you know, you swap things with your damage zone, drop zone. There are other cards in here that allow us to do it. Just really nice card overall, and becomes super powerful with that buff. Moving right along, now you can swap these out. I know there's a promo card out right now. Forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll flash it on screen. I'll find it afterwards. You can swap that out for this one. This is definitely going to be a cheaper option. This is just the common. This is going to be Nurse of Holdheart. I think, yeah, that's how to say it. Yep. Its skill auto on Vanguard Circle when placed from hand, get to counterblast 1 and swap a unit from your hand with a card in your damage zone. If you put a grade 0 card in your damage zone, choose up to one of your opponent's rear guards, put it into his or her damage zone, and if our opponent's rear guard was put into the damage zone, our opponent heals 1 out. So essentially helps us filter once more. You're not really gaining power out of this. That's like the only downside, but for a counterblast, it's not too bad. You're getting that filter and really just helping you get those Nociel cards into your damage zone. And of course, we're looking to put a grade 0, obviously the power up Nociel that I showed you before. Just synergizes really well with it overall, and again, very cheap card. I think that it works very well with this deck. Now, during the clan selection or the next V selection, whatever it is, there is going to be the grade 2 for, what was her name? Gabrielle. So you can swap her with that too if you want. I think that's coming out in that set. It's just like $8-9 right now, so it's not really worth it to put in this deck in my opinion, but once that comes out, there's definitely an option. Again, this synergizes with this deck, but that other card just helps you push a little bit more and still swaps things and does like a filter. So overall, completely up to you, but that is definitely an option. Moving into our tech cards for grade 2 now. I think I can fit them in the top row over here, right? Yep, this is going to be Hygienist Angel. So her skill continues on rearguard circle. This unit gets an additional 5k for each card in my damage zone. So this is really crazy because you're looking at that grade 0 Nociel. She is giving you an additional 5k as is. This gets an additional 5k. So you're stacking 10k off of each Nociel. This can easily be like a 57k attack. Just so easily overall. Like putting a booster behind it too just really sets those nice numbers off. And this is a not just a 3 attack deck. Like in a 3 attack deck, this is pretty deadly, but in a 6 attack, potentially 6 attack deck, this is crazy. Like this is a great target to restand if you're only getting one of those restands off of the Nociel. So overall, I really like this card. The next one, again, more of a tech. I'm going to put that down here. This is complete. This can be swapped too. I think there's another promo card. I'm just forgetting off the top of my head, but this is like a very cheap option. Again, pretty decent if you want to get into the game. Kind of like a high roll, high risk, high reward kind of situation. This is going to be Sanitized Razor. Her skill act on rearguard circle once per turn. If our Vanguard is grade 3, we Soul Blast 1. One of your opponent, your opponent heals a card from his or her damage zone, and this unit gets an additional 10k plus an extra crit until the end of turn. So this is like a very rare scenario where you will just absolutely use it. You have to know in your opponent's hand that they have like nothing. Like if they have 1 or 2 cards left and you don't think it's a PG, they would have PG'd it already. Like that's when you go, you know, you're on that, you get them to 4, whatever the case is. You know, you swing at them, and if you're restanding twice, this is once per turn. If our Vanguard is grade 3, you know, it gets that additional crit, so you can be swinging twice with 2 crit, and if you know your opponent just can't guard out those numbers, it makes it really difficult overall. Like I know obviously the heal went out, so like I said, high risk, high reward. If they're at like 5 damage and you pop it off, it's not that bad because you're going to be attacking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 times, like I said. So, you know, take it as you will. It's a cheap option. You can swap this card out if you don't like it, maybe with another Hygienist Angel, just make it a little bit more standard, a little more pure, and there's obviously other choices in the future too. So this deck is definitely going to be kind of upgraded, and there's a lot of different potential like tech choices you can put in here, but this is just personally a cheap option that I am choosing to play. So moving right along, I am going to be starting off with our grade 1s now. We are going to be going into Scaling Angel. Its skill auto on rearguard circle. When placed, discard a card from our hand and we draw a card. So that's on Vanguard circle. If you have to ride this first, not too bad. We discard and then get to draw, do a little bit more filter, maybe get those Nociels that you want into your hand. Its second skill auto on rearguard circle. When placed, if your drop zone has a normal unit, cost put a face up grade 2 or less card from your damage zone into your soul. Choose a normal card from your drop zone and put it into our damage zone. So this kind of makes use of the grade 0 because we can now guard out with it. They are 10k shields, so you can kind of guard with it early, do whatever you want, place it down, swap it, and then yeah, just have another Nociel in our damage zone on top of another card into our soul, because like I said, our soul just gets used up. So many different cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards so far use our soul, so it's a whole lot, and this guy uses 2. So I think this card is definitely necessary as of right now. Maybe in the future something will change, but we will see. Moving right along, this got reprinted, I think, in the not the festival collection, the clan selection, the original one, whichever one Angel Feather came in. So this is going to be the how do you say this? Bellyful Meds Angel. Its skill: act on rearguard circle. Cost: put this unit into your soul and swap a unit card from your hand with a card in your damage zone. This unit may this ability may only be used with the card with the same name once per turn. So this really helps us again fuel our soul and make sure we have the right stuff in our damage zone. So throughout the game, you will draw into those grade 0s or just have other Nociels you don't really need in your hand at the moment. You're trying to hit that 5 Nociel card name threshold. This can help us do it while still replenishing our soul. And again, soul is a huge issue in this deck. This is definitely needed. Moving right along to our final grade 1 in the deck. I'm not running the grade 3 searchers. If you really wanted to, I think you can probably swap these or potentially these, maybe cut down on one of her. I think the grade 3 searchers are a good card, but they're just too expensive right now to recommend for a budget deck. So I instead am running this underlay Celestial Hesidiel. I think this came out in the first Angel Feather set. This guy's skill: auto on rearguard circle. 1 place from hand, cost counterblast 1. Swap a unit card from your hand with the card in your damage zone. So again, very simple, just tutoring our damage zone once again, making sure we have the correct names in there, and all for a counterblast. So you can counterblast and then, swap the card that you just counterblast with. No big deal. Overall, decent card. Again, very, very cheap. Alright, and then finally for the regular units in the deck, we are running the 4 Happy Bell and Nociel. Again, its skill is once it's face up in the damage zone, it gets an additional 5k to our front row. So if you have 4 of them, that's an additional 20k on top of whatever other power that other cards give themselves. Very, very effective, like I said. Just really makes the whole deck work and puts those pressure numbers like really on our opponent. Again, if you're getting that 6 attack, two attacks buffed up by that 20, they have to start hitting triggers to really have a chance, unless their hand is like absolutely ginormous, which in this deck with the pressure that it applies consistently shouldn't exactly happen in my opinion. Moving on to the triggers, then I am going to be running 4 heal, 8 crit, 4 draw. Very, very standard for obviously the V series. Again, if you're new to the V series, the crit sentinels, the draw PGs are the draws in this format are PGs. Typically, you can get the grade 1 PGs, but you don't really run that in any deck. Obviously, a starter as well. I have the incorrect one, but don't ring me up for that one. Some people are against running heals in this, I know, but because you could potentially heal out a Nociel, but there's so many things to swap it. Like, I feel like overall, you can get the damage zone exchange over here. On top of that, too, like, there are other decks that are better in this. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say this is like a tier 1A. It's probably like a rogue kind of tier. If you are a good pilot, I think that you can get great results with this deck, but overall, I think that heals are just too valuable to pass up on. Personally, I was trying it with the crit sentinels, just doing like almost a full crit, doing some draws. I just like the heals a bit more. It makes things a bit easier overall. Plus, they're 20k shields in the V format. So overall, very, very nice. I think that I am going to go into a test hand now and just show you guys how the deck kind of plays out. A lot of different options that you can do with this deck, so be prepared to check that out and take some notes. Let's hop right in. Alright, so let's shuffle up over here and get started. I think I put in my grade 0. Let's get him out. I've just noticed at locals there's actually like a lot of newer players in general. I think that Overdress attracted a lot of people. I thought this would happen. If you are looking to break into V format, you decide you really like Vanguard, you want to try other formats, this is actually like a great deck to jump into. This gives you something to really work towards and like become a better pilot to make sure that you master this deck. It is, I would say it's like 4 out of 5 probably difficulty, because there are a lot of different lines of play in this deck. It might not be the greatest like starting deck in general, but let's hop into this test hand and I'll hopefully show you how to play it and ease some of that difficulty for you. So shuffle up, shuffle up. We're going to pretend we go first just like we do in all of our test hand videos, just to make sure it's a little bit easier overall to demonstrate. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. I know we like grade 0 Nociels, but I think I'm going to put this one back. Do I want to do that? Let's see if we can get a grade 2. Yeah, we're going to be greedy here. Ooh, draw, no grade 0. No grade 2, I mean. Still gonna shuffle up over here. Maybe we'll get one by our grade 2 turn. Alright, so that's enough shuffling there. Let us proceed. We're gonna stand and draw. Alright, we got another grade 1. Not too bad. So I am gonna ride into this guy. I'm going to draw a card off of the ride. I'm also going to discard a card from my hand. I'm actually gonna discard one of them because we can get it back later with this card. Actually, yeah, we could put it at least into our damage zone. We are then going to draw another card off of her skill. All right, cool. So we do get a two grade 2s there, which is pretty good. We have a good ride target. Completely up to us what we want to do. We don't have any grade 0s in our hand, but no big deal. Pass it over to our opponent, take a damage. Oh no, I love that card. We are then going to stand and draw for our turn. Another Nociel. Wow, look at that. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's swap right here. We're gonna put this guy down, and let's one place from hand. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Search our deck for up to 1 card with Nociel in its card name, and we're gonna put it into our damage zone, and then shuffle our deck. If we put a card into our damage zone, we have to return a face down card from our damage zone to our hand. Where are the grade zeros? There they are. All right. Got that guy right there. So our front row is getting 1+5 from that. And we're going to put this one into our hand now. So we still do get that back, which is pretty nice. What else? We have 2 grade zeros. I think I'm going to hold right now. We don't have to do anything absolutely crazy. Swap a unit from your hand. Yeah, from a damage zone. Grade 0. One of the rear guards. Not too big of a deal. Is there anything else we want to do? No, I think we'll just keep this pretty vanilla right now. Early game with this deck is a little weird. If you can take 2 damage originally, that way you have more room to play around. With some of the Nociels in your hand, you can swap things in and out because it's pretty much guaranteed that it's so easy to get the Nociels in there. You just need like other stuff in your damage zone to start playing around. We're going to swing and drive check. All right, got another Nociel. Pass it over to our opponent now. We're going to take 2 damage for their turn 1 and 2. Look at that. Wow, another 2 cards with Nociel. Ay. We are going to stand and draw. All right. Now what are we going to do? Let's see. For grade 3, we always want to be riding her first just because she starts the combo. We're going to go into Protect 2 just to get like nicer numbers. Protect 1 is definitely viable as well and typically seen as the better marker, but just want to be spicy over here. Alright, so we got that. What else do I want to do? I guess let's do this. Let's do Counterblast 1. Yeah, let's do that. Counterblast 1, put the top card of our deck into our damage zone. Oh wow, look at that. Lucky. Return a card from our damage zone to our hand. There we go. And then at the end of battle, this unit attacked, we get to do the whole Soul Blast one and go into the multi-attack. So we have 2 of these in hand. Not too bad, not too bad. What else do I want to do? I think right now, I just want to, I don't need to fuel up my soul necessarily. I could do the Counterblast and swap just to get another grade 3 into there and potentially swap later. There's just so many different lines of play in this deck. It's like absolutely insane. So let's actually call her down. Let's use the skill when placed from hand. We get to Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Search our deck for up to 1 card with Nociel. So we'll put the right, the Ding Dong Nociel. Yep, with the bell. There we go. All right, we got 3 Nociels in there now. I'm going to shuffle up over here. We're also going to swap a card from our damage zone to our hand. All right, shuffled there. We get this card back in. Only once per turn you can use that card with that same name. Otherwise, is there anything else I want to do? No, I got 3 Nociels overall. Yeah, not too bad. I think next turn we're definitely going to be able to get 5. So I think we're going to keep it decently standard. We have enough juice and resource, I think, material just to actually do this twice. So let's do 2 grade 3 turns. We're going to swing. This is going to be 15-5. This is 29. We are then going to swing here. And this is going to be drive check 1, drive check 2. All right, let's get power here and draw. Okay, and then we are going to use its skill. We're going to Soul Blast 1, discard 2 cards from hand. We can get Nociels back from our hands with her skill, I believe. Damage zone, soul. Was there damage zone? Yeah. So reserve your drop zone. Yeah, and then we can swap it with the grade 2 that I held on to. Okay, perfect. So let's drop 1 here. Oops, daisy. Sorry about that. Let's drop 1 of those Nociel, and then what else? I kind of want to hold her for next turn. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to swap? No, I guess right now this is fine because we will get 5. Okay. We are then going to, we Soul Blasted, discarded 2. Now we're going to re-ride into her. All right, perfect. We are then going to get another Protect marker. Let's go still on her just for now. We are then going to one place, Soul Blast 1. Search our deck for up to 1 card with Nociel. You could also Soul Blast out the grade 3 if you need that re-ride for next turn, which, do we have that? No, we don't have that actually. It's actually a tough look. We'll see if we can get it. All right, cool. So we're going to put this Nociel in here, and then we have to heal it out. Was this my hand? No, this was definitely not my hand. Nope. This was part of the deck. You know, I think I'm going to do that then. I'm just going to swap these 2 just in case. Got 1 soul there. Alright. When it attacks, we're going to also Soul Blast 1, but we do get a drive check first. We're going to just drive check here. Boom, crit. And do crit power, whatever the case is. So there's 2 triggers on it now. Soul Blast 1. and then restand that guy, and boom, it gets another one. And then at the end of turn, put a Nociel back into here. And yeah, that's really the idea of the deck. Let's just see if we get into that grade 3, because if we do, we can really do like a powerful play. Let's take 1 damage. Oh, of course. Wow, that was the guy we needed. 1 and 2. All right, no triggers. We have to start guarding stuff out. Guard. We could also, what else do we need? Oh, geez, I have 4 PGs in my hand. Guard. All right, perfect. So now we're going to stand and draw. And now we didn't get the grade 3, but if you did, you can go into a whole nother combo. You can put her down too, which is really nice. Create this like really powerful kind of board. You can swap these guys with the Nociels from your drop zone. Have 5 Nociels there, so really decent overall. And we have the Soul Charger too to make sure that we really have that attack. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know any questions you have down below. I know this deck is a little bit complicated. This might have been a bit fast the way I was doing it over here, but overall that is the idea of the deck. Just swap in Nociels from your damage zone. Make sure that you are having the correct line of play. Maybe there was like more ideal, optimal things I could have done, but again, just kind of going through this a little bit fast. Got a couple other deck profiles I am recording today. So again, thank you for watching. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.